Hello everyone, happy Sunday. It is time for the weekend review. We are going to go over exactly what happened last week and what to look forward to this week as Monday soon approaches. We had an awesome Friday, and so let's get right into it. So as many of you guys know, we've been talking about how we were starting to get a little stretched out about 2 weeks ago. We talked about how our very tip-top level was right around 69.50, and that was indeed exactly what happened by filling the bullish imbalance. I also put out on the Ethernet here that the ES was all the way in the second standard deviation VWAP on the yearly candle with the daily candles, and that generally doesn't last long. As you can see, this was from Friday and posted in the Discord room. We played that second standard deviation and ended up coming all the way down into our major leg end at 66.60. We have talked about this, and it was prophecy that it all came together. Absolutely gorgeous price action here. Okay, so Friday, actually, it ended up coming to fruition as this was part of the trade plan on Friday morning. We put this out. Our big spot here was 66.60. Dealers are hedging this area hard with put walls. I like to see it get over 66.60 and then above 64 is the trigger. And then we would look for 67.38 as the daily leg. This was essentially 90 points, guys. We moved up into the 44 and closed the day even higher. They closed the day all the way up into 67.65, so above this area here for a total of over 105 points. Just an amazing run from our level. We had a lot of people who made out like bandits on this trade, and I was so happy that it worked out. So now we got to talk about what is going to happen this week. Well, I've got a pretty good idea, so let's just get right into it. We do have some news here this week, which is interesting. Monday, we're going to be open. Tuesday, we have Veterans Day. So I don't know if the futures markets are open or not. I didn't look. It is a bank holiday. So I'm not sure how the market is going to take this, but just know that it's a bank holiday. I haven't done my research, so you guys will have to do that on your own. Wednesday is filled with Fed speak. So all day Wednesday, we should expect volatility as these Feds just jabber at the mouth. Even though this isn't a red tag news event, this still causes some volatility. Thursday, we got CPI, unemployment claims, and I don't know if it's going to happen or not with the government shutdown. We'll see. And then Friday, we also have red tag news as well, that we may or may not actually get any action, and that's the PPI. So we'll see what happens from a news perspective, and let's get right into it now, shall we? So as usual, you know I love my weekly TPO charts. We have had an extreme move here as we've come all the way down, and we're able to finally get into this value area down here from October 12th. We talked about this in the room. We talked about this in the plan. This had to do with the 660 down here and our volatility levels and the gamma gex levels and all that. We had every reason to believe the 660 was going to hold, and it did. Now we've jetted back up here. We are above the 1019 value area low, 1012 value area high, and back into our value. I see no reason right now why we cannot target the 6807 from a value perspective, fill this in, and end up here, and maybe even go higher. Now, we'll see. I really have just three. I have 3 places, but really we're going to call it 2 that are sticky to me, okay? And this is one, a value area high. This is the other one, which is the POC, 6807. And then we're a little higher here, right in about 6820, which we'll talk about soon enough. But these are my 2 majors. So 6876-ish, 6807.25. You guys probably remember this level as the significant daily at 6805. That daily was a monster on the way down, and it will be important again on the way up. So let's get into it right now. I'm going to break this down for you guys, and we're going to make this short and sweet because there's not a whole lot to talk about. Okay, so first, look at this weekly. Okay, here's my only concern. We closed below on this weekly on the leg. That, for me, shows a little bit of weakness. But in contrast, this is how it works. This is the leg. And this was the leg that they did not want to lose. 67.38, that's the sub leg. We opened below, came all the way down, played our massive 660 spot, which is our big wing play down here. And we came all the way back, and we closed above and green on the day above our 67.38. So they still have not lost on the daily time frame. This was a massive stick save and was just absolutely unbelievable long, as we know from Friday from our 660, 6660. But again, now what happens? Well, let me just show you what I'm looking at here. So I believe that there's no reason that we can't come to 68.05.50 once again. We reclaimed this. We can replay 67.38, and they've also created a daily leg up at 67.23. Okay, but I think 38.75 is the sweet spot. A pullback would be preferred to take us up here. Okay, I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. We also have the big major weekly at 67.88.50 that's in our way as resistance. Okay, we're going to use 67.74 as a pivot. All right, I'm going to show you all this, and here's my upper range of this particular leg down at 68.22.25. I'm undecided about this area. It looks like it's prime, but I have conflicting information, and so I'm going to default to the 68.05 being our main above-below pivot. Okay, and if they do end up accepting value and pushing higher, this is the massive weekly leg down, high lost, very big area that could get a smack. The only thing that would serve some caution is we have not lost on the weekly time frame to play this. Now, this does ensue that we have some weakness right here. Closing below both of these means it's a little soft, so they could come up here and smack. But that also, I mean, we just have to be careful because this hasn't lost. I would have needed a close down here on the weekly in order for this to be an A+ setup, and right now it's not. Okay, so I will honor it as resistance, and I will treat it with tender hands when we get there. But for now, I am long into 68.05.50, watching my ass around 67.88.50. Okay, so I'm going to stop there with the daily. I'm going to pull over the 4 hour, and I'm going to show you the 1 hour RTH after that, and we're done. So this right here was the massive 660 leg, just a big monster spot, right? We come up, we come down, we test our wing play here, boom. Okay, now we're riding. Now we could pull back into the 38.45 area. I'm going to show you why I like this. This top down here is untested. We played these areas multiple times, and we gained at 64. This leads me to believe we're going up. The daily at 74 is tested, and so we have to worry about the 68.50 and then the 05.50. Okay, now we've got a weekly POC at 07, which I showed you. So I think it goes like this. We have to watch this and get up here. Now 05 is going to be our real important pivot. 05.50 is critical, and you could look for acceptance below 68.01 if you think we're coming down farther. Okay, because it depends on how we play. If they come here and they wipe these dailies first and go here, then we have no more support and they can come down. If they go up first and come back down, then they can still play these areas and go higher. It certainly matters in the way progression plays out. So I can clearly see that we have some untested areas around 32 and 15, with 22 being the middle. Again, I have some reservations about this area, and really will be using 05 as my main pivot. Okay, we know 55 was the killer top the other day on Wednesday. Above this brings us into our leg down at 83, but again, we'll have to use 55 as our pivot. We do have these little minor resistance areas here, but I think once you were to get above 05 and ultimately 22, you may come up here and bump your head a little bit, but I would assume we would, kind of hang on at that point. Just keep track of 05. It's going to be our big one, 05, 01, that particular area. So that's it for the 4 hour. This is a very simple plan for this week. There's no reason to go any farther down. Now, here's what I'm going to show you because it makes perfect sense. And this is a big one, so pay attention, okay? This is going to show you why I like the levels that I like, all right? So we came down here. This is our 66.60. We played it perfect. We had this mapped out great. Back above 86, come up. Now, we have this 37.38 area. We want to pull back into this. We have a top down at 44.50, into 38.75. Either all that's a buy with a stop out below 23. Okay, I know it's 20 points, but that's how it is. If they cannot get down here, they will come up here, no question. Okay, and more than likely up here into 05. You can see right here that the reason this weekly has been very important to me, I'll show you, is these tops right here, here, and this touch here. Very big level. Okay, this weekly what we're sitting at right now, boom, boom. And so even though this is tested and we're here now, we will be using these as progressions to get above. Okay, watching our ass here at 88. This will be our pivot, which is obviously clear. If we play 05, 01 and we re-lose, what is this, 88, this thing could come down quite nice. Okay, so we have to play these pivots like that. So you got your 38.44 spot, and then you got your 05 spot, right? Just look at it like this. Here's what we got. Below 23, we're super soft. We could play the 4 hour at 66.83, but I would be scared to buy ultimately underneath 23, extreme weakness. And then 05 is the high side. So my plan is to get long here, and as long as they can't stop out, I'm going to size appropriately. I should be able to ride this all the way up to 88 or even higher. All right. Again, if they come above 05 and ultimately 22, I think 51's no problem. And then we get up in here into the 68.83, which is where we want to be very careful, as this is a highly untested area. We have a previous weekly value area high, naked POC, weekly leg down, and we'll be using 55 as our pivot. So if they do come up here and smack, we want to get underneath 55, and then we can get some continuation down. The last thing I want to show you guys is Bitcoin. I made a tweet over the weekend that I was long Bitcoin. I liked this area here where it actually held this monthly low, and we're starting to accept value higher. Now you're probably thinking, why is he talking Bitcoin again? Guys, this is purely for context. Yes, I'm long. That's not the point. The point is that if Bitcoin looks bullish on a Sunday, this is a good measurement of how the indices will look. Okay, so we can expect somewhat, as long as things stay like this and they don't change in the next 8 hours or whatever, as long as we continue this bullish look, we will continue to open with strength on the ES as well. So I think Bitcoin's going to at least 108.250, and I think ES is going to at least 68.05, which is another 40 points higher. And so right now I am leaning to the upside, at least temporarily. And obviously I have my higher targets on Bitcoin around 114. But with that being said, guys, this is more about confluence than anything. So again, I hope that this helps you guys out. We have talked about a lot of stuff, a lot of reasons to be bullish, at least temporarily, and where things go bad. I will see you guys post-market on Monday for the breakdown, and also in the room for the Discord peeps. We're going to get that money, that bag on Monday as well. And I will see you guys on Tuesday with the AM trade plan, and I look forward to hearing about how it all went for you guys. So be good, and I'll talk to you soon, and have an excellent rest of your weekend.